I'm here. We're here. I'm really, really excited to be here. I can't believe I'm here, to be honest with you, but I'm super excited and I'm thrilled to be part of the incredible speaker lineup that is CMX at CMX. And I won't lie, I'm a little surprised that I'm here, but I'm excited. I'm excited. I do have to ask a question though. Is anyone feeling the same amount of overwhelming information overload, of learning and just everything? I love it. We're in a community together. We're learning. It's in a good way though. It's information overload in a very good way. So quickly before I jump into what we're going to talk about today, I wanted to just give you a little highlight reel of what's led me here. Today so far, so I started my career in 2008 in B2B, and I worked at a growing company called Halogen Software. And throughout the 10 years that I was there, I did a lot of different things within prospect marketing, demand generation, project management, and I learned a lot, an incredible amount. I worked alongside a lot of amazing marketing professionals, but in all of the roles that I had, there was something missing, and I just couldn't figure out what that was. And then in 2018, I joined the customer marketing team, and that's where I kind of was like, this is where I want to do when I grow up. This is where I want to be. I was able to build lasting relationships with customers, interact directly with customers. I was really passionate about helping people, and it just, in that role, gave me the opportunity to do that. So immediately I was tasked with managing customer references and launching an advocacy program that was powered by Influitive. And we were doing that, but we didn't have a flourishing community. So I was trying to unveil and unleash an advocacy program when we didn't have a really solid foundation of what community is and what it should be. So there was confusion with customers. Why is there two different platforms? So it was not until I joined Docebo in 2021 that I realized the importance of laying a solid foundation, and the community at Docebo was in its infancy. It was very new, just launched, and I had the opportunity to use my experience to really build something from the ground up and utilize my passion for customers and advocacy and build something that I could drive into that. So when the opportunity presented itself in 2021, I joined Docebo as a community manager. I was super excited to be there. I began my Docebo journey, and here I am. If you would have asked me a year ago if I would have been standing on this stage, I would have thought you're all crazy. So this is very exciting. Personal note, very quickly, I've been married for 13 years. I have 3 beautiful daughters. I say that and I think, how am I this old? But it's crazy. It's gone so fast. We moved into our dream home in 2019 on 11 acres. We love it. Anything to do outside. I just bought my first paddleboard. Any paddleboarders here? Yes. Anything to do with outside, I am all about. Like I said, I'm passionate about helping people, and I love learning. So here I am. Let's move on. Let's dig into the good stuff. Quickly, just a very high level of overview of Docebo. Quickly outline 2 strategic growth models that we kind of kept at the forefront while we were building Docebo Community. I'll quickly just give you a quick timeline of the community and the launch and that progression, as well as a quick success snapshot of the community. And then from there, we'll just talk about how we're using Ideation and the new process that we built within the community to unleash the voice of the customer, as well as additional initiative, which was our product research and design category that's specific to just empowering the voice of the customer. Then I'll finally go through some key takeaways, and then if there's time, we'll do a bit of Q&A. Let's jump in. So, who is Docebo? Docebo. When I first started, I was like, Docebo. And then they actually have a video that says, this is how you pronounce it, so people know. I wanted to go into that interview process knowing it was Docebo, right? Okay, so this is who we are. We are a learning solutions company that helps organizations grow a culture of learning. So our learning suite empowers organizations to solve any learning challenge for any audience. We firmly believe that learning is not just about the technology that's put in place to support it, but it's a holistic strategy. It's all about educating and driving people to the resources they need when they need them. And in order to fulfill that full learning loop the organization needs, to create, manage, deliver, measure, analyze the impact of the learning initiatives. Okay, so for just a quick additional context, I am a member of the customer education team at Docebo, and our mission is to build a unified help center. So in that, we are able to easily and effectively help customers find what they need when they need it. In order to do this, our team manages our own learning instance, which is Docebo University. And then we work closely alongside knowledge and support teams just to make sure there's that cohesiveness. And there's one aspect missing with all that, is it was Docebo Community. So before I go into that, while we were in the build mode of laying that foundation and understanding that we needed a community, we were keeping these two strategic growth models obviously at the forefront of that. So obviously we've all heard of customer-led growth. Now it's like community-led growth. We're all in that era, right? And we've all probably heard of it. It's where user insights are prioritized in order to provide the best customer experience. That can be done in a variety of ways, but essentially it's putting those insights into practice, and that's, our community, we knew that would play a pivotal role in centralizing those insights for us. Additionally, we knew that the era of product-led growth was here and thriving, so we also wanted to make sure that we incorporated a dedicated space in the community to solicit direct product feedback. And that would allow us the ability to showcase how we're incorporating their feedback into the product to ensure that we're continuously building a product that satisfies their needs. Is one of them better than the other? Short answer is no. They definitely go hand in hand, and utilizing both strategies will definitely set you up for success. And just to give some additional context and perspective, companies that use the product-led growth, they see value in these 4 key areas. So customer health, they retain more customers and higher revenue. Growth, they generate higher quality leads and more engaged users. And they spend less time on manual support and data collection, and they make data-informed decisions to innovate and iterate faster. Okay. I feel like I'm talking really fast. And I'm not moving around a lot, and I'll tell you why. Because I made the mistake this morning of walking here, and it was a 20-minute walk in these shoes. My feet are just shredded. So I'm just kind of staying in one spot, so I hope you don't mind. I'm just trying to use my arms. Okay, so with all this in mind, we set out to establish Docebo Community. Quick timeline. So the search community platform began at the end of 2020 and into the following year. We evaluated Vanilla, Influitive, Salesforce, and Untitled. Ultimately, in February, we chose Untitled. Side note, I wasn't there when we chose Untitled. You'll see that the community was launched in May, and I joined in the end of June. But ultimately, the Untitled was the chosen vendor, and one of the biggest reasons why was because of their support of ideation. We knew that we needed ideas inside the community, but we knew that it would be a phased approach because we wanted to launch the community and get it up and running, and then have the ability and the time to build out that framework and that foundation for what we wanted our new ideation process to look like. So we had a 6-week implementation. They had a 6-week implementation that I wasn't part of. But then we soft launched to our community founders in April. We full launched in May 2021, and then we took over the course of the following 6 months the time to reevaluate and rebuild our full ideation process with community as the driver. So this is what it looks like, Docebo Community, and at the end of May, so 2 weeks after launch, we were sitting at 809 registered users, and that number has continued to increase since. So you can kind of see, I don't know how you can, if it's really small, I apologize. But just a quick snapshot, so we have seen incredible success in the first year, plus 3 months. We have just over, we had, when I made these slides, 3,600. We're now sitting at 3,750, just over that. And it's just been an incredible success that we've seen so far. And we know that it's still in its infancy and we have a lot of work that we still need to do. But we have a really engaged community. We have people that are in there every day. 60 new posts per week, 180 replies per week, and an average NPS of 52. And as I say NPS, I think of Richard's talk and how there's a lot more involved in that, and knowing that I've learned, and that's something that I've taken away today. It's not just about that, it's so much more. Yeah. So as I previously mentioned, when searching for community vendors, the ability to incorporate ideas played a significant role in our decision-making process. And we knew we needed ideas inside the community quickly, and here's why. Picture speaks 1,000 words. We knew our ideation process was struggling. The state of our ideas seemed like a black hole, essentially. The process was unclear externally and internally. We had one primary gatekeeper who chose to leave right after our migration, so that was fun. That was really very, very, very fun. There was no communication between customers and product, and it just seemed like ideas were feverishly becoming a complaint form rather than an enhancement request, which ultimately led to frustrated customers. Anyone else feel that way about? Excellent, perfect. So as you can clearly see, the voice of the customer was definitely not a priority. What's worse, our customers knew the same thing. And so launching our community and having that experience, we heard from them. They wanted us to bring ideas inside the community. So we were happy to tell them that it was coming. They just needed to wait a little bit while we figured out everything, because we didn't want to just put the cart before the horse. We wanted everything to kind of be clearly defined. So we set some initial goals that we wanted to achieve for our new ideation process. This included bringing ideas into Docebo Community. Just to level set, our old ideas portal had over 3,000 ideas. And we were like, we're not bringing all of those in. Not a chance. So we made the effort and we parsed through them, and we only brought over 355, which was great. It was like a nice, fresh starting point. We needed to enable communication and collaboration around ideas, and we were also looking to source direct product feedback. Not only that, we knew how imperative it was for us to close the loop and to communicate the full ideation life cycle of their ideas. And lastly, we needed to partner with product, because I was the one that was responding and updating statuses as a community manager. Nope, you can't do it. You literally run out of time. There's no more time, and then you have this weight on you, and you know that you want your customers to hear from you, and you know that you want them to not think it's a black hole. So partnering with product was a very, very key initiative that took a lot of patience and is still in the process of, it's not an overnight thing. We wanted them ultimately to take ownership of it, and so really figuring out how do we do that. That's a conversation for a whole other day. I won't get into that right now, but if you want to talk about that, connect with me. We can chat. So soon after launching the community, we built the framework for the new ideation process, and we established new statuses and a more formalized process, which included a weekly grooming of all ideas. We set out an SLA for replies and updated statuses within 7 days. And we had a monthly prioritization meeting with a dedicated voice of the customer team that we created to prioritize the ones that they could add to their queue. And then in November, 6 months after launching the community and the successful migration of ideas, it happened. So since then, we receive on average 43 new ideas a week. I will just side note that in April, I put out a challenge because I was noticing that we were hovering between like the 45 to 55 new ideas, and we were getting like 50 every week since then. So it's been crazy. And just for quick context, that makes up 46% of our total topics posted in the community. We have ideas, questions, and conversations. So the results that we've seen obviously solidify that ideation is extremely important to our customers. We've seen total votes delivered jump from 2.87% pre-migration to 6.31% post, which is a 120% increase. We also saw a 101% increase in our votes delivered per month. And while these initial numbers are a really great start, we know it's just the beginning. There's so much more that we can do. But what do our customers think about ideas and the community and the ability to easily collaborate with us and with product? it's been very well received. And we're providing full transparency into the process so it's clearly defined. Everyone knows what's going on. And we provide detailed responses so customers understand the reasoning behind the status updates. And all the hard work is paying off because I just may have gone too far. Did I go too far? Hold the phone. Am I missing a slide? No, here we go. There it is. We received an unprompted LinkedIn post from a customer saying how much they love us and that this is working. It's giving them the ability to be heard. And when they feel heard, they're happy. Typically, when they're happy, they want to tell people about it. So completely unprompted, we were completely surprised, but it's just the proof and the evidence that what we're doing is working. And sharing this with product really influences their want and their desire to take part and take action in the new ideation process. Okay, we're halfway through. Okay, we're almost there. So not only did we develop a new voice of the customer development team, we also created a dedicated space inside the community where customers can share feedback directly with the product team and the voice of the customer team to help shape the future of Docebo's products. So it's a gated discussion that's only available to registered members. Just as a side note, our community is open to everyone, but you have to have a registered email to see ideas and this category. We launched it at the same time as ideas, and it's linked to our ideas page, and there's also the ability to subscribe to this, so as soon as a new post is created, they get notified. So we created a template for the teams, the internal teams, to submit their product research and design posts. We didn't want just anyone kind of out there. We wanted to make sure it was aligned and consistent and cohesive. Side note, again, if anyone is interested in that template, I will absolutely share it with you. Just connect with me. So it was just, what does the post include? What's the team working on? What's the proposed solution? And because ideas are part of the community, they're able to just quickly and efficiently link the idea that they're working on with respect to the proposed solution as well. And then they provide the proposed solution, ask some questions, and just solicit the feedback. And the great part about having it within the community is it's all centralized into that one post. So the product team or the voice of the customer development team can go in there and just really engage and connect with the people with their feedback. And while we've only had 14 posts so far, we've seen a lot of excellent feedback. We've had 150 replies and over 1,500 views. And what do our customers have to say about the opportunity to have their say in our product design? They love it. So they are letting us know that they're appreciative of the opportunity. They're the ones that use our product. They're the ones that can help us shape it. And so aligning them and giving them that interaction with the product team directly allows them to do that and to feel heard. Okay. Closing the loop is a big part of all of this, and the community plays a pivotal role in that. So 6 weeks before release, what we do is we provide a release preview. It shows what's available in Sandbox if customers have the Sandbox, but we also tag ideas that are in the planned status within that post so that they have the insight into what's coming. And additionally, because we can kind of have that cohesive cycle, if this idea that's planned was part of a product research and design post, we can then link it into that. So anyone that provided feedback knows, hey, your idea is coming, and it's coming really soon. So go check it out. Then what we do each month is we incorporate a monthly release roundup that has everything related to that release per month. And then that is where we announce that their idea has been delivered and any associated votes that have been delivered with that. I'm speaking really fast. I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, we're definitely going to have time for questions. So if you have any, think of them. So just to close, I wanted to highlight some of the key takeaways. So just going back to our initial goals, since we launched the migration in November, we've pretty much achieved all of the goals we wanted to achieve, but there obviously is still so much more to be done. We've incorporated ideas into the community. We've created a dedicated voice of the customer team. We've partnered with product, having that space for the teams to source feedback. And those are all steps in the right direction to achieving our long-term goals. But our long-term goals are essentially to just align closer and better with product to get and prioritize ideas into a roadmap. We don't have an external roadmap right now, and our customers are very much wanting that. So it's just having that ability to get those ideas prioritized into the roadmap and then having the ability to also share that roadmap with customers. This is what I've learned. And I think it's whether you have a community, as we do, we use Untitled, but I think no matter what, prioritizing the voice of the customer is imperative. And I think that all your customers are guaranteed to have ideas. They may even know it better than you do. So giving them the space to collaborate, to share, to vote on ideas, and making sure that ideas process is clearly defined, and just setting those expectations is a really important aspect. Partnering with product. This one kind of goes with the next one, which is the patience and the persistence. It's like formalizing a brand new ideation process. It takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight. And there's so many nights where I wished it would have, because I was the one that was updating everything, and it was literally, there's no words. There's no words that come out. Because it was like, I couldn't believe that I was doing this. I didn't expect it as a community manager. I knew I wanted to be part of it, but I didn't think I was going to be owning it, because people would be submitting ideas. I'd be replying and updating statuses. Customers would then interact with me. Oh, Erin, what do you think about, and asking me questions that I don't have the answer to. And then I'd have to go, and so like I was a middleman. It was just very inefficient. So it was super important for us to align and partner with product. And that's really hard, because our product team is in Italy. So there's a time difference, there's a language barrier, but it's, like I said, going into the third one of being patient and being persistent and just not giving up, and showing them, the value of what this is going to bring to them and to the organization as a whole. Celebrating the wins. This one for me was, it doesn't matter how big or small. You're establishing a process where you're empowering your customers and your product team to collaborate and communicate. And it's a win-win, essentially, right? So when customers are heard, they feel valued, they want to shout it from the rooftops, hopefully, like that LinkedIn post. Celebrating the product team. So in our community, we have a weekly leaderboard, and that product managers are on that leaderboard. Shout that from the rooftops. Tell it to your community. Tell it internally. These people are spending their time there. For us, it wasn't a priority for our product team, but knowing that it's such an important aspect to their roles, it's taking it and making it a priority and just celebrating with them and being alongside them and supporting them as much as you can, but knowing that it's up to them and that it's super important. And then closing the feedback loop as well. And we use that via the product updates capability within the platform. And that was a huge one that just closes that whole ideation, the loop. And then leveraging community. So we're leveraging Untitled. It has that, it allows for that end-to-end journey of submitting an idea, delivering the idea, and then everything in between. So, that space is dedicated for, product research, sourcing feedback, helping shape the future of the product, giving the ability to effectively just close the loop. And so we do that via those monthly release updates and the sandbox posts. 6 minutes to spare. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. It's very bright, and you guys are all awesome. So thanks. Thanks for having me. Any questions? Yes. Yes. Sweet.
So 50, you're getting 50 ideas a week, which is awesome. How are you managing expectations around that? Because that seems like more than can be implemented regularly.
Oh yeah. So it's obviously, that's a great question. Enabling the everyone on ideas that we have a search functionality as well. So we do get a lot of duplicates, but we try and tell people just to have a quick search to make sure that there's not the same idea as ones that are coming in. It's a lot, but we have, so I started as a team of one. We recently hired a community moderator, and that community moderator actually came from our support team, which was amazing. If you ever had to do that, that is how you do it, because they have the knowledge. And so what happened was we transferred the grooming process that was happening weekly, because that's all the time that we could spend on grooming. We transferred it over to them, and they actually groom them daily. So every day they go in, and they've kept up with it. Did you all know that Italy doesn't work in August? Italians, they take it. I mean, I would like to go there because, come on, like that's fantastic. But because of that, it's true though. But because of that, we've now hit we're back in a bit of a backlog of establishing. The ideas are being assigned to the product managers, but they're not within that SLA of 7 days that we want, right? So we go in there and try and say, hey, it's still in review. We'll update you as soon as we can, kind of thing. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. But we're making progress. We're getting there, and hopefully we'll be there. Did I answer your question? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Great. Hi. My name is Regina, and I'm actually transitioning from a startup where cross-functionally I worked with product and engineering very well, and the community sat in Slack, right? So I could just take that feedback and put it there, and they would action on it. I literally just started a new job on Monday.
Whoa, congrats.
Where
That's exciting.
Not a bragging point. I'm nervous. That's why I'm here. And part of that is community advocacy or customer advocacy. And I'm meeting with our product person literally this evening, but it's just kind of getting the ball rolling. I've got some great, action items from my former job, but those might not fit. So thank you for this, but do you have any kind of high-level advice about literally grooming your product team? Because this is going to be my first meeting with this product team.
You will
Thanks.
have many more.
I know.
I'll just say that. That's the answer. No, honestly, it was a struggle at first. Okay, for fuller context, I came in at the end of June. The community had already launched in May. So my manager is Senior Director of Customer Education and Advocacy, Adam Bellhausen, who is amazing, and he laid the entire foundation. He built the community from the ground up. He reports to the Director of Customer Experience, and he ensured that the Director of Customer Experience was on board. We had that higher level, so from the top down. So what happens is now we are grooming on a daily basis, but every week I send an update. I include the senior leadership, Director of Customer Success, as well as a Director of Product, on those emails with all of the product managers, and it shows the status of all of the ideas that are currently outside that SLA and the backlog that we have. So they have insight into, hey, how come Alberto has 50, I hope he never watches this, has a bit of a backlog in his ideas. But right, it's being persistent with it, and making sure that you're known and you're out there, and you're making sure that if you can get that from the top down, you're going to have a little bit more armor, I guess, to go along with. Good luck. We can chat though if you, yeah. There's more. Oh, one more question. Sasha? No? Yeah? Huh?
I think you were actually first.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. I'll be quick. Maybe there's time.
Okay.
When you migrated your ideas from your old whatever mess of a system down from several thousand down to a few hundred, how did you handle what I'm assuming was a lot of pissed off customers whose ideas were ignored? Right?
We were very surprised. So the whole process of migrating and knowing that we were going to take the opportunity to kind of refresh and rebuild, we were completely transparent with our customers. We told them that this is kind of what was coming, and we made it available to customers that the ideas weren't lost. We had a list of them, and if they wanted them, we could send it to them, and they could re-put them in the system. However, we did give them the preface of, there's a reason they didn't come over. So we parsed through them as much as we could, and that we took the 355 that were, that we saw progression with, that we could use, right? I will say too, though, that we have a lot of open ideas right now, and we're establishing a process of what that looks like on a monthly, quarterly basis to not get to the point where we were in our old ideas portal. That's essentially, right? That's not what we want. So it's just establishing the transparency of what we were wanting to achieve, and that this is how we were going to do it. And I'll be honest with you, maybe 5 came to us saying that they wanted their ideas. Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Erin.
Okay, we did it. Thank you. Thank you. All right.